just that, there were many different groups and organizations from around the galaxy.
All right, we are now live. Come on, guys, get your stuff together. Get your stuff together.
Life of the galaxy, after all. But there was one woman who absolutely hated the Force, and she was not a part of the Yuzhan Vong either.
What is that? What is that in the background playing?
This woman was Darth Freya.
Yeah, turn it off because it's coming through.
Can you hear it now?
Mm-hmm.
You can't?
OBS isn't working.
Yeah, we can hear it. We can hear it.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's a bitch. All right. So,
well, today we're going to be talking about the X-Men 97 cartoon as soon as you guys get your stuff together here. But continue, Dimitri. You can talk about whatever you want right now. But as soon as you guys get your art up and whatever you want to work on, then we'll start talking about X-Men 97. Have you watched all the episodes, Demetrius?
I have watched the most recent one.
Huh?
I haven't watched the most recent one. I need to catch up.
Of course, someone's not ready for the podcast.
Man, I got more comments now.
Yeah, we can go ahead and talk, but my thing is not working at all.
Huh?
My OBS camera isn't working.
Why? You got to put on a start virtual camera.
That's not an option in my thing. Like, it's not giving me the option to do that.
It's under start recording. Right under start recording, it should say start virtual camera.
There should be a setting there, but there's no setting there. It's literally just start streaming and start recording. Like, that setting just went away.
That's weird. Jeez, boy, you guys are never ready. You're never ready, man.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
The motherfucker, I'm ready.
Yeah, but you didn't watch the show.
Right. I got more comment knowledge. All you bastards combined. Shut up.
You said a what now?
I have more comic knowledge than all of y'all put together, so I don't want to hear it.
Your ass still ain't ready. You didn't watch the show.
Oh, hold on. Are we talking about the this episode where Storm got her powers back and it was all in her head?
Yeah. Well, we're talking about the entire series, but that was late. That was the latest episode, though, right?
Or we're talking about Xavier feeling that the X-Men are in trouble all the way across the CR Empire.
Yeah, we're talking about that too.
Anything else you want to chime in?
When is Caleb gonna have his shit together? Come on, Caleb, man. Holding up the show.
It's not there. I don't know what to tell you. The setting is just gone.
Do you have close OBS and open it back up again?
I've done
that. Do you have what do you have in your sources panel?
I just put just a camera in there. I deleted the other one that had to do camera.
So you don't have video capture in there? Display capture?
I have the video capture in there. I put that in there.
Huh?
I put the video capture in there,
yeah. Do you have to update your OBS?
I mean, I got the... I could try. I mean, it's probably not going to do anything.
Yeah, it says it might be that OBS is out of date and OBS virtual camera failed to load. That's why updating OBS can fix this problem quite easily. There are times when OBS virtual camera plugin isn't updated according to the camera model, so updating can fix the problem. So maybe you just have a really old version of it. Well, while we're waiting, audience, if there's anyone there, and I doubt this. If there is anyone there, I did recently do a movie review. I'll pull it up on my screen here. Go to the YouTubes. Come on. We did recently do, or I recently did a movie review of a horror movie called Late Night with the Devil. And
The
let's
devil.
see, this is right here. That. And check it out. It's a pretty good movie. I watched it twice for the review, and it was pretty good movie. I also talk about the fact that the movie uses AI art, which is a little bit of an issue for me. I talk a little bit about it in the on the show. So check it out and give us some feedback. Like, share, subscribe, and let's go back to Carbon to see if he's got his shit together, which it does not seem like he does. All right. Well, since we'll wait for Carbon. Tell us a little bit more about your story, the Mighty Mutando.
Well, I've been sketching out more and more and more. You know, when you get that itch, it'll just start drawing more stuff.
Well, show some of the sketches.
Oh, they're hand drawn, so I haven't put them on the computer yet. Well, they're on.
Put it in front of the
Discord.
camera. Can't put it in front of the camera real quick.
I can't put it in front of the camera. So, give me a moment. Yeah.
And y'all are just not ready at all. It's unprofessional. Dang. Well, since somebody else is ready, I guess I'd tell everybody a little bit about my story. I'm working on here. It's actually a poem, little horror poem that I wrote called The Peeper. And these are the main characters. You have Little J, Mama May, and Papa Paul here. And it's basically about this demon that exists inside Little J's closet. And the demon, he looks like this. It'd be like this giant demonic looking owl. And the owl has like these flashlight, these big high beam type eyes, and then he shines it down on Little J while he's sleeping to keep him awake. And he talks to him at night and stuff like that. And the parents don't believe it. Until a lot of weird things start happening. Which I won't reveal here. That gives you a little taste of what the story's about. But if you do want to read the poem before I do the animated short based on it, if you go to, let's see, is it vocal.media? And then you look up my author's name here. Uh-oh. What's this? Just want to do a search. Brian Keith McMurray. And just find one of these right here. Actually, right here is the story right here, The Peeper. But you can read it on vocal.media. It's not very long. It's like a little short narrative poem. What's the estimated read time? Look, it's only a 4-minute read. So yeah, check me out, The Peeper. But this is what I'm creating the characters for right now. Looks like Carbon got his shit together. Finally. Yeah. All right, Carbon, you back?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, we can hear you.
But yeah, I had to update. I don't know how not update.
Yeah. When I looked it up, that's what it said. You had to update.
Man, it was to force you to update, man. I can't just stay on an older version, bro. They'll break something if you don't update.
What are you working on? It looks like Chun-Li.
I remember I got like a ton of tutorials, so I kind of took a break this week, and I'm trying to push through some of my tutorials because I got like close to like 1,000 hours of tutorials, so I need to try to finish some of those.
I hear you. So that is Chun-Li?
No,
Oh, looks good though.
Like I'm actually using like realistic hair and that kind of stuff. Like, actually, hold up. Say this render doesn't look. Hold on, let me switch to Eevee real quick. Let me switch to yes in cycles. Yeah, this is how it's actually gonna look. You know, when I render in cycles.
Oh yeah, looks good.
So I'm about to say, so I'm watching shows how to do cycles, realistic hair physics, and claw physics. So you know.
Ooh, yeah,
And I also
man.
learned to use Dash Studio. This is actually like a Dash character. I just edited the original character or whatever. You know.
Yeah, Dash Studio is the where it already has the models, right? You can just kind of
Yeah, you can edit it, and then you put the edit model back in the program. And
yeah.
if you use
Remember, I was
the
telling you
same
about that years ago. Instead of modeling from scratch, like you can just use Dash Studio and get basically what you want, and then edit it. You know what I'm saying? How does the topology from the
Oh yeah,
program?
we
Is
can,
it
yeah. Hold on. It's
is the
I'm
topology
working
from
on
the
it.
program
Yeah,
decent?
it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. That's dope.
So it just basically rigs the character for you. Or it's already UV and everything. It's everything
Yeah, I was
pretty
like,
easy.
I'm like mulling that shit from scratch, man. I can see if you have like a really original character design, but man, if you need a basic body, that you just need to just warp a little bit to make it look like how you want it to look like.
And per
Yeah,
usual,
Dash
look at
Studio isn't that hard. Yeah, it's pretty easy. But I'm definitely gonna use it for some future projects. To be honest with you, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, it saves some time. Saves some freaking time, man.
oh,
But it's good that you know
well,
that you can build it from scratch. At least you have that skill, you know.
well, they got
So, Mr. Mighty Matendo, like, why are you reflecting what we're
Yeah, you're
showing?
showing us. Yeah, you're not showing your own
yeah,
shit.
it's a
Yeah.
weird thing. I don't know why it's doing that.
Oh my
See, it's
god,
not
man.
just me, man. It's not
Yeah,
just
what's wrong
me.
with y'all? Like, I don't get it. Like, why just don't change the settings? Don't change your settings in OBS.
I
I
didn't
didn't
change.
change.
Actually, no, I didn't have
I
to
didn't
change.
change anything. I
was
just started
recording
my.
videos. Remember, I had to record videos from other characters.
I just
so
started my
didn't change
virtual camera.
What
I just
screen
You're
are you
started.
sharing the
showing?
wrong window. Like you're
Yeah, you're
just sharing
sharing the
the
wrong
window of
window.
the screen. You're using not like your whole window because you're
Yeah,
looking
you
back
got
at the screen, which is showing us, not your
yeah,
work.
you got to share the window that has your artwork on it. So I don't know
Yeah.
if are you using dual monitors right now?
Yes.
Yeah, so you got to go to your display capture under sources and make sure you're sharing the right screen. Go to your settings.
I'm in there. Hold on.
Now see under where it says display. Looks like
Yeah, I'm
you're.
in
Which display are you sharing?
primary monitor.
Well, how many displays you got? Click on it, dude. Are you drawing on that monitor right there? This one right
I
here?
was gonna draw on my main monitor.
Oh, okay.
Forget
So
it.
you just don't have your artwork up.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay.
You see it? You see the screen up now?
Well, you got
Oh
your
yeah.
other screen
I'll
up
show you
now
one
with
more
Doctor
cool
Doom
thing you
on
can
it.
actually do. Let me switch to the front here. You can actually like. Why is it not doing what I want to do? But I gotta do this. You can actually like comb the hair. You know, I'm going a little bit extreme here, but you know, you can actually like comb it.
You mean comb it?
Yeah, you can comb the hair. You know.
I mean, Brian, G Flux, you didn't see my other you didn't see the
So that's
artwork I
like
put on
part
our
of the base
Discord?
hair.
Huh?
Wait, what?
You didn't see the other artwork I put on our Discord?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh.
63%.
So we start all the way from episode 1. Are we just talking generally? Like how we?
We're just gonna talk generally about it as soon as he shows me whatever he's gonna show me.
I'm sorry, General. Shut up.
Oh yeah, I remember you
Y'all see
posting
the
these. Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah,
posted,
yeah, I did see these. Yeah, I did see these.
yeah. So that's what I was working on. And this is the idea I was telling you about earlier.
I mean,
What? Well, good news, fellas. Good news. We have a new Berserk chapter coming out at the end of this week. Okay, I guess that I'm the only person that will be excited about that anyway. So, but I am.
I feel like the series just ended when the creator died. To be honest with you.
Nah, well, in most cases, I agree with you. Like if it's I'm just gonna say that in most cases, yeah, I would agree with you. As far as when the creator didn't leave any like idea of what he wanted to portray. If he just dropped dead and he didn't have any anybody to carry on. Well, he didn't tell anybody what he wanted or what his wishes were. But Kintaro Miura had his best friend who did a lot of work for Berserk, and he wanted him to helm it to the end. So this is not just somebody else coming up with ideas for the story. This is just somebody helping, pushing it in the right direction and making sure the artwork comes out and still same quality.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna drop I don't know how real it is, but it's supposedly supposed to be an animation in the work.
Oh God, I hope they don't do 3D.
I hope not either. Hold on.
No offense, Caleb. I just really hope they don't do 3D for the animation.
Are you still coughing, man?
Unfortunately, yes.
I hope you feel better.
I mean, I feel fine. It's that stupid cough won't go away. I'm talking about my Uncle David. Hope you're not coming downstairs half naked, Uncle David.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my stuff disappeared, bro.
Because we are streaming
bro, just
live.
Uh-oh. Who's on the podcast?
Just disappeared.
It's just
All
me,
right,
Caleb, and Demetrius.
You tell them I said everyone shut the fuck up.
Uncle Dave said
I heard
everyone
him clearly.
Oh.
Oh, that's fine.
I heard him clearly. Y'all see you see my screen?
Huh? Yeah.
That looks terrible.
What is that?
That's not that bad. What are you talking about, dude?
I don't know. I ain't really feeling that. What is that?
I ain't feeling that. That's supposed to be the Black Swordsman arc.
Is that how it's gonna look?
Hope not. I haven't seen the trailer.
Black Sword arc for the animation. Is it 2D or 3D?
If it looks 3D. Like that doesn't look as bad. Oh, trailer. For Black Swordsman.
Like toon shaded 3D or 2.5D.
It's not always bad. I mean, look at the X-Men, right? When they did it, that wasn't that bad.
X-Men looks like it's mostly 2D.
No, there's some 3D in there. You there's some.
There is some, but it looks like it's mostly 2D, and they hide the 3D stuff really well.
Within 2D animation and CGI mistakes. Okay, yeah, at least they acknowledge that that series was a mistake.
Yeah, it was a big mistake.
Like sound quality, sound effects, everything was horrendous on it. Only reason I continued watching it is because I'm such a big fan. If I wasn't a fan and I just picked like something I just saw, I would have been highly like distraught.
That shit was a travesty, dude. It was a travesty. You know, considering how good Berserk is and the source material, how good it looks, and that's the crap they're gonna give us. A real travesty.
I mean, not all. I mean, that's one of the worst examples. Like one of the games looked half decent.
What Berserk?
Yeah, one of the 3D Berserk games look half decent.
Well,
yeah, but it's a game. We're talking about like an animation.
Animation.
The answer is 6.
Hold on, let me.
So G-Flux, what do you think of this image of the hater?
I mean, what
in
am I
your
supposed
honest
to say?
opinion?
It looks fine to me. It looks good to me.
That's all I needed to hear. I had a partner at work. He saw And Majee's like, man, is that going to be a book or animation? I'm like, man, nah, it's going to be hand drawn through and through. And it shows like that just motivated me more, man. Because you know, when somebody who doesn't know what you're doing sees your work and says, man, that's really good, and you should keep on pushing it. He knows a lot of people will be into it. I'm like, man, okay, yeah, that's what's up. Because you know, when you're talking to
talk. Where's the script at? Exactly. Where's this? I see a lot of sketching, which is good. No, don't get me wrong. I think it's good that you're doing a lot of sketching. So where's the goddamn script?
Oh, we'll get it done. In fact, I'm off all day tomorrow, so I'll get it done before. But other than that, you know, I think Ninja Kamui is done. But we came to talk about X-Men. You know what I like about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to know what I like about this X-Men 97? You know, Wolverine is my favorite X-Men. They haven't focused on him nearly as much as they did in this on that previous series.
Yeah, they had a whole freaking cartoon afterwards, like X-Men and Wolverine and the X-Men or something,
which was not bad. I like the character designs and everything for that. It was not bad. We'll call it what it is.
Yeah, I'm glad they're not focusing on him because Wolverine. I've started to hate Wolverine more and more and more as I've gotten older. He's one of those characters where they just couldn't leave well enough alone, and he just kept adding more and more things to his mythos. He's become like Superman, where he was one way when he first came out. And don't get me wrong, I know this people are gonna update stuff and make changes and stuff, but it's like, dang man, it's like, you made the guy almost unstoppable. It's like, geez,
I mean, he can die. He can't beat Deadpool.
Huh?
He can't beat Deadpool.
Why can't he be Deadpool? I don't know. I don't have read the comics with him.
Bro, Deadpool's way stronger than him. What are you talking about?
How is Deadpool stronger than Wolverine? I know his healing factor is
Dude, Deadpool can literally break the fourth wall.
Oh, I mean, I don't really give that kind of stuff credence.
Deadpool can't.
What are the Raleigh? Those are Raleigh-chan type characters that Vegeta was complaining about.
Yeah. A gag character.
Gag character. Like what's that one, Squirrel Girl or whatever?
The one that beat Thanos somehow.
Yeah, so get the hell out of here.
But no man, I mean when we were kids, man, yeah, Wolverine was shit, he was the badass. And Cyclops was just a boring team leader. But as we grew up, we got old.
I find Cyclops way more interesting now than Wolverine.
I think Wolverine's backstory is more interesting, but Cyclops is more. I find Cyclops to be a lot more tragic of a character, from his beginnings.
Here's why I don't find Wolverine's backstory interesting. Oh, I'm Wolverine. I've done everything. I've been everywhere. And I could do anything. It's just like, come on, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I've just lost my memory.
Nah, man. No, I think
I was Captain America during World War II. It's like, they didn't mention that in the many years of comic. I mean, granted, they have to shoehorn it in because Wolverine's a newer character, but I just find him boring. I find Wolverine boring now. Because it went from like, man, if he got shot with a bazooka, he could heal from that, but he'd be out of commission for a while. Now it's like, it's just instant healing. There's no rules to it. I saw this one comic where it was like, well, they say that Deadpool's healing factor is stronger or faster, but I was like, the way they were doing Wolverine in that particular comic, I was like, well, shit, it's just like Deadpool, or Lobo from the DC comics.
Now Lobo's a badass character, man.
I never liked how he looks. Stupid to me.
I've always liked Lobo, man. Lobo was like I just like how Lobo he killed everybody on his planet just because he wanted to be the last person on his planet.
He's another one of them gag type characters.
Yeah. Well, he's almost as strong as Superman, if not stronger.
Superman's another one. You know, no standards. You know what I'm saying? I saw this one comic where he's like lifting up heaven. I'm like, are you what? You're like, stop it.
Some people like strong characters.
You might just call him the God of the universe. And there's no consistency. In one comic he can beat up Darkseid, another comic he can't beat up Darkseid. In one comic he can beat up Doomsday, another comic he can't beat up Doomsday. Then he got all the crazy shit about I can go sun dipped and everything. Like what? What is all this? Just have some consistency, man. In one comic he's stronger than that one character. What's that character? That yellow character, Mongol.
Yeah.
Another comic he's stronger than Mongol. I'm like, well, it is so consistent because it's like, okay, well, Superman's strong enough to lift up the universe. Then wouldn't that make Mongol able to also lift up the universe? Yeah, it's just no consistency, man. And they even did this one thing where it was like these extremely cosmic level beings, the Monitor, and it was like above the Monitor and anti-Monitor, and instead of just creating something new and original and interesting as the antithesis to this really powerful being, they use Superman as inspiration because he represents hope. So they made this machine, this giant machine that's.
Oh, you talking about the armor?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Blue and green and red eyes.
Yeah,
it was like
stupid. It was like, it's dumb.
And he had to fight a vampires at the end.
Yeah. Like, this is so dumb.
You want to know why they did that? Because Batman's side of that story was a lot more interesting. Because Batman died in that one, and I'm fighting Doomsday on Darkseid. I mean, and he was trapped through time, and they had to have something for Superman to do. That was the Final Crisis, matter of fact.
Yeah, it was so dumb. I was like, are you serious?
And I watched something that I know is going to be terrible today. A trailer for it. The new Crow movie.
I didn't even bother when I saw how they were going to have him look. I was like, yeah, I'm good.
And I like the guy who's playing him in other movies, but I don't know what that was. I'm like, man, have lost their motherfucking minds.
It's like, yeah, I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. Sorry.
Like I said, man, like it's like Hollywood, rather than trying to come up with a new IP or further enhance stories, they're going to try to reboot the hell out of everything. They canceled The Witcher.
I mean, everyone saw that one coming.
Well, when your main draw is gone, yeah, of course you're going to see that.
Show was pretty good. I don't know what you guys are talking about. That new Fallout show that came out.
New what?
No. Well, yeah, Fallout is good.
I haven't watched it. Everyone's saying it's good. Uncle Dave, you said you liked it too, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good, dude.
Fallout show.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I actually haven't watched it. I mean, I never played the game, so I don't have this great interest in it.
Well, I've only played one game, and I didn't know all the nuances of the story, but it's actually a very good show. Like the CGI is kind of campy at times, but you can deal with it. Like it's not going to be so off-putting that you like. Oh, you can suspend belief with the story.
Yeah, I mean the apocalyptic event was supposed to happen in the 50s, right? So it had like a campy type of look.
No. Like it's actually like it's the best way I could put it. It's based on the 50s, but they're more advanced than the 50s.
But still, it takes place in the 50s, or it starts off.
No, it starts off.
Yeah, a
and,
lot
like,
of the aesthetics still like that, but they have more than what they had in that actual time period.
That's not the point I'm making. The point is that it's the 50s.
No, it's not the 50s.
When is it then?
It's like the 2000s, 70s.
Oh, so it's like a 50s imagining of
Oh.
how the future will look. Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yeah.
So when the apocalyptic thing happens, when does that happen? That happens in the 2000s, or that happens in the 50s?
Yep. It happens in the 2000s. They still have the
Okay.
look, it looks and style of the 50s, but it's not the 50s. You know what I'm saying? They just carried on that way of life.
Aesthetic of it. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
But yeah. Then they had Rebel Moon Part 2 came out. Yeah, fellas. How do we feel about that? Nobody's gonna watch it.
I haven't watched the first one, so I just don't care. Zack Snyder, he's a shit director. He's just a shit director, and I don't care what anybody says. I was arguing with these one guys. I was like, most of the Snyder DC films are abysmal, either like kind of like mediocre or just really bad. And we started going in about Man of Steel. And I'm like, look, Man of Steel is probably one of his better superhero flicks. Like, it has a lot of potential, but it's still kind of like, it's like, he just made it too dark. It's too dark. It's not Superman. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, those movies are way better than this
Rebel Moon bullshit.
Rebel Moon crap, yeah.
And then they
or that really lame zombie one he did for Netflix
with Dave Bautista in it.
Yeah, that shit was trash, dude. Straight trash. And I really liked my favorite 2 movies from him was it Dawn of the Dead and 300. Those are really, in my opinion, his best movies. Everything else is either mediocre or just really bad. Even The Watchmen was just kind of like, But
well, The Watchmen on what HBO produced, I liked.
I haven't seen it. I just don't care enough to watch it. I heard they blackwashed it.
What the hell does that mean?
They made all the characters black.
Oh, didn't they make some like new Good Day TV show or something like that? Whatever it was called, remastered some kind of
Good times.
People got mad about.
Yeah, because it was real. The Good Time when the Good Time show came out. Now this is
70s. I hope you ain't talking about this new shit. Yeah, everybody there?
Yeah.
Brian, you were saying something? Brian, is he there? Yeah, let him know that we can't hear him. He's just running his mouth.
What?
Text him and tell him that we can't hear him.
Dang, bro.
All that trash he was talking about us, huh?
I got a question for you guys. Do you guys think Gambit is dead?
Oh, wait, now your mic. But you said before we couldn't hear you. We could not hear you before.
Yeah, all that shit you were talking to us about not being
cut
ready.
out or something, man.
You said my mic cut out?
Yeah,
very much so.
You said, bro.
That's weird.
No, Gambit's not dead.
Unplug, plug back
Well,
in.
let's put it this way: this version of Gambit is dead.
Yeah, true. There are different timelines. He might have a clone of himself. Who knows?
Yeah. Like the thing, like Gambit's always been a cool character, right? Like
Your mic's muted again. What are you doing, man? Yeah, you mute yourself in the thing. Like, you can still hear us. He just muted himself in the thing. Like, you mute it on the actual webpage itself.
Yeah. You want to continue talking? You want to wait till he gets back?
Let's wait till he gets back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't press the mute button, so I don't know why I did that for.
Fire the DJ.
Yeah, so you're gonna really repeat what you said, man. You keep muting yourself. Before you start.
You saying that I didn't do anything? I was just asking if you guys think he's dead.
This version of Gambit's dead.
What do you mean this version?
You know how X-Men pop through the time back and forth.
Oh, okay.
Gambit's actually I was actually listening to the history of Apocalypse's horsemen this afternoon. You know, originally their powers would be like how they got their name: death, famine, pestilence, and what's the last one? What's the last horseman?
I don't know.
Well, y'all know what I'm talking about. But no, like because Wolverine's been death, Hulk's been death. Of course, the most famous one is Archangel. And Gambit's been death also. So what I'm thinking they're going to go with on this one is Gambit being Horseman Death, because you know Apocalypse can resurrect people too, and we haven't seen him yet this season. But the cool thing that Marvel's doing, rather than putting out all this trash that they've been putting out for the last 2-3 years, well, no, longer than that, since Endgame, they're actually doing quality over quantity. Because
they want to start getting their socks back. They didn't have a choice.
Because what they were talking about is, you know, the Blade movie might be axed.
Yeah, I heard it's been going through a lot of production issues, man.
Yeah, it's first, you know, I think it's just good karma on that part. Yeah, they didn't want to.
I agree. I totally agree.
They didn't want to include Wesley Snipes in any of the production or like get his say so on how he would do things if you could still play the character, which I really think.
Nah, he's too old to play the character. We gotta be honest about that.
Yeah, I don't think vampires are supposed to age like that, right? So he'd literally be too old to play the role. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say. I think he should have some part in the movie rather than. Well, he did a great job back in the early 2000s, and thank you, God bless you.
Well, I don't need Wesley Snipes in the movie. That's not an issue for me. My problem is that when you hear about some of the scripts they were trying to do, where I say it's good karma is you trying to take it away from the male lead, you know, which was the issue that Wesley Snipes also had, especially in the third film. You're trying to take the story away from the male lead, from the guy that make the goddamn thing popular, you know. So that was my issue, you know.
Speaking of that, and not to offend any of our letter people viewers, I saw an article today that actually made me like Serena Williams a little bit again.
Why is that? Man, if it's gonna be controversial, don't even say it. Let's keep it on X-Men.
Okay, I'm not gonna go ahead, but people just look up Serena Williams if you want to know what I'm talking about. Because I saw that, I'm like, oh, really? You don't say.
Excuse me.
But And then
I was looking up the physiology of the Shi'ar people. Yeah, it's pretty cool because they descended from like avian type birds, where they just become more humanoid. Some of them have like vestigial feathers on their arms, and the throwbacks actually have wings, like the queen's sister.
Death bird.
But they're like stronger than humans. Like the average Shi'ar can like lift up 1 ton in Earth's gravity. They're faster. They have more stamina. And then you got mutant versions of them, and you got
the humans in.
Well, they've already conquered their galaxy. It's like they have a whole galactic empire like Star Wars.
When do you want to conquer more?
It's a total of it. It's a total other galaxy. It's like there's no real need to do it. You know, they consider Earth to be like a backwater planet. You know, like we don't even need you. You're not even a major player. You know what I'm saying?
That's how Marvel and DC are funny. You know, on both continuities, Earth is a backwater planet, but it's still also the most important planet. All at the same time.
Well, that's just a little bit of like human hubris on our part. You know, we gotta be the center of attention or whatever. You know.
Well, if you remember when Galactus is always coming trying to.
Because if you think about it, if the Kryptonians were as advanced as they say that they were, right? Why would they send Clark to a place like Earth?
They didn't send him for. Hold on. Let's make something very clear. They didn't. Jor-El didn't send him to Earth for. He sent them to Earth to guide humanity. He didn't send them there to be a human.
What I'm saying though was why just send them to a civilization that's more advanced?
You remember also where did Superman get his powers from?
You mean to tell me all these galactic civilizations, there's no yellow suns in those galactic? That's fucking bullshit. Yellow sun is like, it's pretty common in the universe.
I don't know. You got to talk to the creators of Superman. All I know is this.
No, I'm just saying that's where the human hubris comes from. You know. Excuse me. I'll be back.
I think that man's gonna die.
Uh-oh. Yeah. That's the end of my meeting. Hearing that thing. Matter of fact, go to my room. Go to my room after being all that shit. Go for your phone. Oh God, I feel like I'm a gag.
What'd you think so far, Arvin?
What?
What'd you think of my drawing so far?
Yeah, I was this worse at night too.
What's that?
It also okay to me so far. I mean, it's just a sketch, so.
Huh?
It's just a sketch, so it looks okay to me so far. But, I mean, it's just a sketch, so.
Okay.
I'm good.
That man said my drawing is just okay.
Have returned.
It's a sketch. It's not like it's done. Like, what do you want me to say about a sketch? Like a sketch isn't gonna be your finished piece. It's like we ask you how this model looks when it's not done. Like that makes no sense.
I said so far, jackass. Shut up.
I said it's okay. Like I answered.
Well, it is a word I ain't used in a long time. Jackass. If G Flux, you want to know who used to use the word jackass all the time?
Who?
Your mom's beloved teacher, my aunt.
Oh, for him.
Yeah. He's just a jackass. Boy, I love old people when they curse. It's so shocking. Like, you're not supposed to curse at your age. What? Have you taken anything for that?
I've taken all kind of medicine, Mucinex and all this other stuff. But mom said it just takes a while for that cough to go away.
Ginger tea, Bubba. Ginger tea. Ginger tea. But yeah. But let's really get into this X-Men conversation. I don't think Gambit's. I don't. Of course, I'm not a showrunner. I don't know what their idea or how if they're going to follow the comic exactly. But if I remember correctly, and I got to go back to my books and look, Gambit wasn't one of those who died in Genosha Massacre. So that might be a deviation of the story they're putting in.
Yeah.
Because, when I first saw the episode last week, that was kind of wow. Like, they killed Gambit.
Yeah, I was like, damn. Man, he going all out. Killing like regular members. Like, shit.
And they killed a regular member of the X-Men. The first episode.
Yeah, but he was created to be killed. Worf wasn't in the comics.
But yeah, but like, man, I'm like, oh snap, they killed Gambit of all people.
They said like if Gambit didn't have that whatever block that Sinister put in his head or whatever,
yeah,
he'd be like above an Omega level mutant. They said in this alternate universe he was so powerful that he stopped the Phoenix. I was like, God damn.
But that's another thing, right? Somebody made an argument about the Avengers versus the X-Men. The X-Men would beat the shit out of the Avengers 10 times out of 10 if you really thought about it.
I don't know. See, I thought about this and I'm like, you know what?
About the Hulk and Thor, bro. What the?
Well, not just that, they got freaking Scarlet Witch, and it's just like, oof.
I call Scarlet Witch it's somewhat neutral prop.
Yeah, but she was able to kind of like stop the Phoenix too. So, I don't know, man. It's like that's a pretty even matchup.
We're talking about the core members, or we talking about the expanded roster? Because the core members, I think Cyclops would get taken out by Captain America.
Yeah, I mean it. If you want to talk about the core members, like even with the core members, like okay, you got Storm who's really powerful. Well, Thor trumps Storm. You got Wolverine who's pretty tough, but unless they just do Wolverine where he's just unstoppable, no one can stop him. But if they just do regular Wolverine, I'm sorry, Hulk and Thor probably take out Wolverine. Cyclops will be taken out by Captain America, Thor, Wolverine,
Iron Man,
Hulk. Maybe Iron Man. Iron Man could probably take out Cyclops, but I can see Cyclops taking out Iron Man too, just depending on Cyclops is a really good tactician, and in my opinion, Iron Man is probably one of the weakest characters on the team. Who's one of the he's not the I think the weakest character probably be
Ant-Man.
No, not Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Yeah. No, it's
or the Wasp.
No, dude with the arrows.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, he's the weakest member of the team, in my opinion.
He has like no superpowers, so yeah.
So if you look at their heavy hitters, like the core team, the heavy hitters, it's Jean Grey, Storm, and maybe Wolverine.
Rogue.
Oh, I forgot about Rogue. Rogue's pretty tough, but she ain't tougher than Thor. She's not tough. She definitely ain't tougher than Hulk. But she does. Can she could take non-mutants' powers though, right?
Yes. That's how she got her core. She got ability.
That's right. Captain Marvel. You're right. Yeah. So yeah. I don't know. That's
all right.
Let
me go ahead and
I see what you're saying.
Break down how this would work. Storm would dazzle them or like mystify them because Storm is a Omega level mutant.
Yeah, but that shit don't matter against Thor. Thor would take out Storm.
And you know how you stop the Hulk? You shut down his mind. That's how they always come. So that's Jean, that's Professor X, that's definitely Professor X. He doesn't even have to be there on the field of battle. As far as it depends as far as fighting,
because that Hulk that came back from Battle World or whatever, and then he went after Xavier for being on Illuminati, and they were not able to stop that Hulk. a Hulk with a mission. So again, depends on what kind of Hulk we're talking about. I guess yeah, regular dumb Hulk, yeah, probably, yeah. But I remember seeing this one thing where he was so enraged that I think Jean Grey tried to do something with his mind, and his rage just knocked her out. So it just depends, man. But I see what you're saying. That is a way to take him out. Yeah.
Thor. The biggest problem on that team, I would say, would be Thor.
Yeah, I mean, Storm ain't gonna do nothing against Thor.
But you know, if you knock, hold on. If you knock his hammer out of his hand, Thor's not Thor anymore. Storm can lift.
Again, that depends on what we're talking about here.
And again, hold on.
We're talking about worthy Thor. We're talking about unworthy Thor, huh?
Hold on. And Storm is worthy. Has proven worthy to lift the hammer. So Storm can take his powers.
That's if she could take the hammer out, and I don't think she could. I don't think she could.
All we need is somebody to
Rogue ain't gonna be able to do it.
Yep.
And then so there's your heavy hitters. You got Rogue, you got Storm, and then Wolverine would get smashed by that hammer and Lightning. He'd be taken out. So
Lightning would be his biggest problem.
Yeah, I mean he would get destroyed. Like I don't know.
Wolverine would take out. Well, hold on. Let's talk about Wolverine would take out Hawkeye, of course. Scarlet.
Scarlet Witch, Black Widow. Yeah. I don't see Wolverine taking out Captain America. It'd be a close fight.
Well,
it'd be a close fight, but because they're not fighting one-on-one, they're fighting as a team. Captain America has an advantage over Wolverine.
And hand-to-hand fight, I'll give it to Captain America, and it's not just from fighting skill; it's from the physiques.
Yeah,
it's from strictly from Captain America's like 6'4", Wolverine 5'3". Wolverine is very, very, very heavy, and Captain America is nimble. He can move around him. Captain America is always level-headed. And Wolverine is one of his biggest assets in it, but one of his detriments is that berserker rage. So as soon as he snaps, I've never seen somebody. Well, I'm not gonna say it can't happen, but if somebody's mad, they're not thinking on all cylinders. So take him out of his element. He just stick and move. And plus, I got a comic book where Captain America crusted his Wolverine's tendons in his wrist, so he couldn't extend his claws.
Yeah.
So,
but you would think though, like he would be able to heal from that eventually. But I guess it gives him enough time.
Yeah, they'd have to trap him in particular because he just keep regenerating.
And Captain America is no slouch when it comes in the strength department either. He's not like obscenely strong. He can't lift tons, but he's still very, very strong.
Yeah.
But if we had to go down to it, the Jean is a mega level telepath. Rogue can take anybody's powers or incapacitate them just by touching them. Cyclops is a tactician. Wolverine's a blunt weapon. Let's just call him what he is.
Would she be able to take someone like Thor's powers?
Hard to say. I've never seen that before. I've seen a lot of comic books, but I've never seen an interaction between.
Because they're somewhat magical based, so you would think that. Well, I don't know. I was also asking, like, would she be able to take that?
I don't know. That is a very good question. That is a very, very good.
Everybody's powers who she touches. It's not how it works. It's not automatically. It's like, for example, she didn't take Magneto's powers when she touched him.
He was protecting himself with the electromagnetic field.
Yeah.
How there's not the same thing with Thor? Like, we something similar with him.
Well, we don't know. That's all.
We don't know. That's what I'm saying. And don't get me wrong, Thor ain't no joke, man. During Civil War, man, he came back to life, and he found that Tony Stark cloned him. Tony tried to run up on Thor, and he's like, "Man, I don't remember you ever being this strong."
And doesn't the Hulk produce radiation or something like that too?
So what?
Doesn't the Hulk produce radiation or something like that too?
He doesn't. He produces it, but it doesn't hurt people.
I thought it did in one of his stronger forms.
Don't get me wrong. The Hulk is the Hulk is beyond a mega level, man. I've seen some comic books where he gets so damn mad he can like shatter dimensions. But as far as gamma radiation, it doesn't hurt other people.
Which doesn't make any sense, by the way.
It doesn't. But they take that up with the estate of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. So, but I still give it to the X-Men. I still give it to the X-Men. I understand where you fellas are coming from. As far as
I just think it depends on like what versions of the characters, because in my opinion, like regular Jean Grey, like yeah, she's powerful or whatever, but she's kind of, I don't know, just kind of weak.
She's cupcake.
If you're talking about like, if you're talking about like Phoenix level.
Oh, she wouldn't need any. She wouldn't need any of them.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, so I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I personally think that. Yeah, go ahead.
Remember when we were talking about Gladiator versus the Hulk?
Yeah.
Now that's a hell of a character right there, man. The more and more I read up on him, but he's also like, if you hurt his feelings, he's weak. Oh, I don't think I can do this today. So, the good news is, the rant we went on last week's podcast about the Fantastic Four, the Screaming Girl, as I like to call her, she's just going to be a version of the Silver Surfer. They're going to have multiple versions of the movie. Which I don't know how they came with the idea.
Yeah, what now?
They're going to have Norrin Rad. Yeah, they're going to have Norrin Rad and the Screaming Girl as Silver Surfer.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Remember last week when we were arguing about the Screaming Girl being casted as the Silver Surfer?
I was like, who's the Screaming Girl? You talking about the chick from Ozarks?
Yeah. So I don't know her name. All I remember is her face when she's screaming at somebody. Oh, okay, calm down, take it easy, chick. Take it easy. But yeah, Marvel's dead to me. I mean, I think the best superhero movie I've seen in a long time, and it didn't get as much friction, as much interest as I think it should have garnered, was that Brightburn. I thought that movie was great.
Yeah, it was all right.
I think that's the first time we ever seen besides Zod, evil Superman on film.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. Like, I wasn't like really that impressed by it though. It's like, okay, yeah, all right, okay, I see what you're doing here. I see what you're doing.
I'm surprised they haven't come out with a sequel of that yet. But where exactly could you go with that movie?
Well, they were talking about doing you would see darker versions of all the DC type characters in that. Mm-hmm. You were talking about with the sequel to have something like that in it. I don't know. It's okay. It was an okay movie.
Better than damn Justice League.
Didn't he like pick his mom up in that?
And dropped her out of the damn sky.
Like shit.
Of course, she was annoying to me anyway. Come on, baby. No, baby. Baby's about to kill you, ass lady. It was.
You know what? You know what my problem is with that movie?
No, but I'm sure you can tell us.
The problem is that there's a difference between being inspired by something and just taking the exact same story and say, "Oh, I'm just going to make it evil." It's really not that creative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was entertaining. Oh, G Flux, I do have a problem with you this week.
Shit, why is that?
What? You're the one that put me on the Jeepers Creepers. Why didn't you tell me that dude who created Jeepers Creeper was just a horrific person?
Yeah, he's pretty horrific. You know what? I didn't really like the first Jeepers Creepers all that much.
The second one is where I really started.
Yeah, my favorite one was the second one. Excuse me.
Oh, man, this dude was out here doing the worst things in history. Not the worst.
Yeah, to the point where
pretty damn bad.
There was a petition where they didn't want him. He was trying to direct the next film or whatever, and they were like, "No, we don't want you." Now he's done his time. He went to jail. He did his time and all that, but still, if I had kids, I wouldn't want them around my kids.
Man, didn't realize Jeepers Creepers was an allegory for nasty old men trying to.
Well, I think it was. I think he even admitted that it's allegory for his own demons or whatever. Oh, I'll be back.
I think the man died.
He said he'll be back, so
it's like his third time.
You know, he also directed that movie called Powder?
Yeah.
He directed that too, and I think that he said that was more about his time in prison, you know, and feeling like an outcast or an outsider or whatever.
The motherfucker's gross.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty gross.
Yeah, horror movies aren't really doing it for me anymore too. They're like,
dude, check out that Late Night with the Devil. It's pretty good. I didn't really like the climax of the film all that much, but overall, I like the movie. It's really good acting. The movie takes place in the 70s, and they did a really good job immersing it in that era.
Has anybody seen the movie like the Black Phone, the Ethan Hawke?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I like Ethan Hawke as an actor. I really do. I didn't realize how much I liked him until after we watched Leave the World Behind.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Because I didn't realize how much dynamic of an actor he is. Also, because on Leave the World Behind, you actually felt like, man, this dude ain't shit. This dude is going to die. He will be the first one dead. The very first one. But the reason why I liked him so much was and I could have seen it I could have seen him in other movies. I could see him as playing if he had more of he seemed like just the everyday guy, but if he had seemed a little bit more intellectual, I could see him as Bruce Banner.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that for sure.
You
know who I didn't like as Bruce Banner was Eric Bana.
No, he was too big. One.
Yeah, I don't think he fit the part, man.
He was too big.
Overacting.
And that the whole scene when he was like getting mad and he was puffing up.
Yeah, Yeah, I was like, what's
Nobody
going
likes the
on
Hulk
here?
and Bruce Banner. It's like the same thing with Batman. Like, you don't like Batman for Bruce Wayne. Like, come on now. Like, you like him for the Hulk, and you like Batman. Like, you don't like
Hold
the
on,
other two
see-
people that are there.
You're not understanding.
You're not understanding the dynamic between the Hulk
Yeah.
and Bruce Banner.
Dude, nobody likes Bruce Banner.
And it's a lot more intimate than Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
More.
you need an actor that can ground the character. So that's why Bruce Wayne is important. That's why, in my opinion, what's his name? The guy who replaced damn, what's the guy's name? Edward Norton, the guy that plays for Edward Norton. What's the guy's name?
Damn. Still unimpressed. I can't even remember his name.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right? The
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo. He did a really good job, I thought, grounding. So did Edward Norton, but I thought Mark Ruffalo brought enough seriousness and humor to the role. Now it got ridiculous later on when he started doing She-Hulk and stuff like that. But in those early films, he did a really good job balancing that character or whatever. So that's what you don't understand. Like, it's not just about the the superhero aspect of the character. Like with Superman, you need someone that can really balance out the character. You need someone that can do a really good Clark Kent and a really good Superman. That's my issue with Henry Cavill. It's not really Henry Cavill's fault. It's actually Zack Snyder's fault because Zack Snyder's a shit director. But you didn't really get an interesting or a good Clark Kent in his DC films, mainly because he tried to make the films too dark. Like, he made Superman as like this vagabond who falls off the face of the earth.
Yeah, I mean, that's like
He's like on
It's not
ships
really
and
Superman.
shit.
Yeah, Superman's supposed to be more lighthearted.
Yeah. And if you look at those scenes with Superman and you compare it to the scenes with Aquaman, the first Aquaman movie, where he's kind of like lost, and I was like, this is the same. It's like the same exact thing. It's like he just doesn't understand the character. If Superman is going to go on an adventure to find himself and to understand humanity, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be lighthearted. But just woe was me. I'm a man. I'm a alien out of place on Earth, and everything's dark, and I'm up in the Arctic, and I'm like, what? It's just he doesn't understand the character. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't understand how to properly depict him. Good casting, because I like Henry Cavill as Superman. Like, even at the I think it was at the end of Man of Steel, or was it the end of Batman v Superman, where he gets the glasses. I'm like, okay, well, everyone would know that he's Superman. I mean, to be fair, even if he had glasses on, everyone would know he's Superman. But that's part of the character. Yeah, you got to suspend your disbelief or whatever. But it's part of the character. How does no one in that universe know that he's Superman? He never explains that. So he left out a very important aspect of it, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. But those movies were terrible. Just terrible. Oops.
Y'all there?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Like, did you hear my comment about Richard Donner Superman?
No, I didn't.
Even though the movie's dated, and it is extremely dated, I can still watch it because it was lighthearted enough for you to have that wow Superman moment. Of course, we watched it when we were kids.
Yeah, I agree with that. Those movies are way better, in my opinion, than the Zack Snyder shit that we got.
And you know what? At first, I was adamantly against Ben Affleck being Batman. But I watched scenes with him being Batman and Batman v Superman. You know, he does seem to have that brooding rage that Batman has.
Again, the problem with Ben Affleck's Batman isn't Ben Affleck, it's Zack Snyder. It's Zack Snyder.
I feel like it was okay for Batman to be a darker character, like me personally.
No, I don't have a problem with the character being darker, but he had Batman doing things that he just wouldn't do.
Killing people. One.
Yeah, he was killing people. Two,
I mean, it's time for a different take of him.
There's certain rules. There are certain rules that you have to abide by when you're using superhero characters. And I'm sorry, Batman is not a killer.
I'm like a Batman.
Batman is not a killer. Batman is not a killer.
No superpower.
And then two, and then three,
people have died because he's
shut
not
your mouth.
killed the villain.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. Shut your funky mouth. Shut your funky mouth.
What do you mean? Do you know
here's the other problem. Here's the other problem. Here's the other problem. Here's the other problem. Be quiet. Shut your mouth.
You know what I mean. I'm telling the truth.
You're not telling the truth. You don't know what you're talking about.
Joker.
Here's the other problem with Zack Snyder's. Here's the other problem with Zack Snyder's Batman. In the Justice League movie, he has Batman going around bringing the Justice League together. It makes Batman doesn't do that. That shouldn't have been Batman's role. That should have been someone like Wonder Woman's role. You know what I'm saying? Or Green Lantern. Well, maybe Green Lantern. I'm not sure about him, but that should have been Wonder Woman's role, not Batman. Batman should have been the one in his Batcave. Wonder Woman comes to recruit him, and then he's like, with his cowl on, he was like, I work alone. You know what I'm saying? And he's saying, and then she was like, well, don't you want to blah 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 Superman? He was like, look, what happened, whatever. It's sad or whatever, but you know, I got shit to do or whatever. I got a city to protect. And then at the end, you find out that maybe he won't work directly with him right away, but he helps fund it or something like that. So he goes in and out. Like the animated series, like the Justice League animated series, almost depicted Batman perfectly. You know what I'm saying? But it's Zack Snyder. It wasn't Ben Affleck. It was just shitty writing because Zack Snyder doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Yeah, I don't know enough about Zack Snyder to dislike him or like him. He might be a pretty cool guy, but the guy's a shit director. I'm sorry, he's just awful.
Well, he used to put out one of my favorite movies over the last 20 years, but I agree. Like, he
doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to the superheroes anyway. And apparently he doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to his original stuff either, because, you know, I watched that movie. What was that movie called? Sucker Punch? I was like, what is this? This is terrible. And there's some people who really like that movie. It's like, why? Everything about it is bad. Yeah.
You remember when everybody was on Ang Lee's dick?
Yeah. Didn't he direct that first Hulk movie?
Yeah, it was terrible.
That shit was terrible, dude. Ang Lee is good for like slice of life dramas or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know where I really think they kind of dropped the ball? And that's Thor. Like his movie should have went way harder than what they did. Like I liked Ragnarok. I think Ragnarok is actually probably the best Thor movie. But I think making him too comical was a mistake. Yeah.
You're right.
Also, too, they never really did a good job explaining what Asgardians are. I think the way I would have described it for the MCU, I would have described Asgardians as like an offshoot of humanity, like they're really, really early mutants, who leave the earth, like, and they have their own genetic evolution from there that compounded with sorcery and magic and all that stuff kind of creates what they are. Like they're just really, really advanced humanoid beings.
Well,
But they never really truly explain it. Like I wouldn't have done the whole God thing. Like obviously explained they were looked upon as gods when they visited Earth, but they're not actual gods. Yeah.
I think the reason why these well the two characters they got spot on. Of course, Captain America and Captain America and Iron Man. Because
Yeah,
I really don't think they could top Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans. And I remember I was like, oh, adamantly against Chris Evans being Captain America. I'm like, no, we need somebody that everybody will look up to. And he embodied the role.
He did, man.
I don't have not an ounce of faith in Anthony Mackie. Not an ounce. Like,
What happened?
what are you talking about?
My layer just disappeared. What the fuck happened? I'm cursing on the damn thing. Are you serious? What happened? I gotta do all that again. What happened to my hair layer? What the heck happened? Go to my history, man. But it won't let me undo. Are you freaking kidding me, dude? Oh, for some reason. Okay, there it is.
Has anybody watched the Transformers 1 trailer?
Don't care.
Well, you want to know why I have a problem with it? It's because they saw how the Turtles movies did gangbusters, being humorous and more down to earth for kids, and now they're trying to copy the formula. Yeah, which everything is a copy game, of course.
That's how it's always been.
But
I just don't care personally. Seems like they're running out. I mean, damn, like how long they been doing the Transformers thing?
Yeah, Transformers is kind of old. I'm not gonna lie. I need to go back to their planet, bro. Quit being on Earth.
the problem with Transformers is it's Transformers, and then now they're trying to, introduce Now they're trying to introduce well, they're doing it. The Transformers versus DC movie. Versus G.I. Joe. I'm like, okay. Why?
Yeah, I just personally just do not care. Yeah, just does not interest me at all.
I am looking on. You know what? I can say with 100% certainty, there's only been one studio across all the media that I watch that has not let me down, and I got to say that Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
That's so, like, because I can watch damn near all his movies and be like, oh man, this takes me back to a time of innocence or a time of horror or a time of wonderment, and you're like, you can't count on Disney for that because all they see is we got to make this money. We don't care about the content. We just need to push it out there.
Yeah, Disney has definitely lost their touch, man, for sure.
And then just put out trash for trash sake. Just because we can.
Definitely lost their touch.
Like some of those early on movie Disney movies, like Black Cauldron. I don't know if anybody's ever watched that before.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Man, it was like great when they wanted to do darker stuff that could still entertain children. But I would say their last great animated movie, I would say, is The Lion King. Even though that was a ripoff of Kiki the White Lion animation. So
straight rip.
Rip them the hell off. But I digress. I remember when I went to Disney World when I was a kid, right? Man, they had Disney used to has its paws and everything. I mean, absolutely everything. But even back there in the early '90s. So, but with all that taking up IPs and making it their own, they ruin more IPs than they try to save.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like Indiana Jones, trash. Star Wars, trash. They're somewhat hands off of Marvel, but Marvel was making them so much money, they decided, hey, let's put out a bunch of trash.
Yeah, start meddling with that. Yeah, it makes no sense, man.
So like, and let's talk about well, can we consider Cartoon Network a studio or just a channel?
Yeah, they falling downhill, bro.
Yeah, like the problem with Cartoon Network is this: like they forgot what made them good. Like Cartoon.
They decided to make Teen Titans Go. That's what ruined it.
I agree with the young man. And the shows they try to bring. The reason why Cartoon Network originally started is because Saturday morning cartoons was going the way of the dodo, because the government didn't want them to be pushing like products on the kids, like product placement. So all the shows we watched when we were young went over to Cartoon Network, and that's when it was legit fire. They had Ronin Warriors, things we never saw before. Like was Ronin Warriors on Cartoon Network?
I don't think so. I remember watching Ronin Warriors on Fox.
Sci-Fi, and I watched it on Sci-Fi Channel. Thundercats, things like that. They brought them back. We were able to finish it all the way through. But like first time I ever saw a Gundam cartoon was Gundam Wing on Cartoon Network, 4:00 in the afternoons. And then Dexter's Laboratory and things like that. And then they just fell apart. They had things like what's that one Uncle David hated so much? Uncle Grandpa.
Uncle Grandpa.
Oh, yeah, that's trash, bro. Like that and Clarence, bro. Oh my God, bro.
Then what?
Clarence.
Huh?
That was the name of the show. It was called Clarence.
Oh, Clarence.
But because I
They used to
remember
have good shows. I don't know what happened to them, bro.
but they went Cartoon Network. You want Cartoon Network happened to Cartoon Network. They fell victim of what they fell victim of what they are trying to save it from. Because think about all the shows that we liked over the years. That Thundercat show.
Mm-hmm.
Why they failed? Wasn't because of the quality of the show. It wasn't a bad show at all. We can't sell toys. You can't sell toys.
And I saw the new subscription model is way better where you subscribe to channels where it's not about toys, it's about subscriptions. You know, and you could argue it's kind of annoying, but at least your favorite show has a better chance of staying. You know?
Touche.
I don't know, because like Disney is failing, Amazon Prime is like only in third place. Netflix is still really big. They said YouTube is the biggest video channel.
True. But YouTube's the only free one. Like, it's free. Like people want free
and they
things.
said,
like, look at
and they
Fortnite.
said
Fortnite's still one of the biggest games.
channels like two.
Huh?
They said things like Tubi are starting to get really popular. People are starting to watch old shows instead of watching the new shit because they're tired of having 3 billion different subscriptions or whatever, and then half the stuff you don't watch.
No, but some of
You
those
gotta have a
stuff's just
subscription
more
over here.
consistent compared to some
Yeah,
of the stuff
exactly.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Like one season will be one thing, and they be just changing the whole art style and everything. The next season, like what the world?
Yeah.
It's like damn, the same show no where it has the same name, but it's like I'm gonna use another example, like Teen Titans. Like you expect Teen Titans Go to be a continuation of the original Teen Titans, right? But Teen Titans Go is not a continuation. Like they were doing a lot of shows like that, and you're like, what happened? You know, we started binge watching something, and you go to like the next version, and we're like, what happened? This is not what I was watching. And that's happening a lot more these days.
Yeah, I think with Teen Titans Go, they were trying to like target maybe a younger audience because of the people who watched the original Teen Titans had kind of grown up. I get the mindset, but God, man,
but dude,
that original Teen Titans
was for teenagers and kids. Like, what are you talking about?
Huh?
The original Teen Titans was for kids and teenagers. Like, what are you talking about?
What I'm saying is they were going after a younger audience for that new show.
Why call it Teen Titans? You need like Kids Titans. Like that makes no sense.
Yeah, I agree.
They're literally teenagers. Like, don't mess up teenage characters with kids characters. Make a separate story for that. Like, do about the superhero dogs or something like that. You know, or something like that, you know, because there was a show about superhero dogs that was meant for kids. Like, do something like that. You know.
No, I agree. But there's different types of teens. You got your older teens who might be more into something in the original Teen Titans show. Do you have younger teens, like preteens, 12 or 13 years old, who might be more interested in the more humorous one? So
we classify them different. They're called preteens, not teenagers. That's why they have a different classification.
I agree, but hey.
And why I call it Teen Titans? It's not gonna act like teenagers.
We're not gonna rename the show. Excuse me.
I know this. When you lose sight of what got you to a place of popularity, that's when you fail. You get greedy, and these channels get greedy. These channels have gotten especially greedy. I think Cartoon Network could save itself. It's not too far gone. They have the right atmosphere, but I think they have it at the wrong times. They don't try to promote shows that would like want to make people want to rush home to watch them. Like case in point, let's tackle back the conversation to X-Men, man. I remember when I was a kid, man, I had to watch X-Men on Saturday morning. I had to know what the story was. But what are they doing to compel people kids pretty much to watch it?
Like you're competing against TikTok and all kinds of stuff that gets their attention. Like, I mean, if you're not giving them something good nowadays, I mean, they can't compete. I mean, TikTok, more kids using TikTok than that's watching these scripts. I'm sorry, and TikTok's free. Like they can't compete with TikTok and YouTube. That's the main problem here. No matter,
Okay.
it's not about toys no more. It's about getting their attention now.
There might be some truth to that.
That's why
Why
I'm
do you
at
think the government's trying to ban TikTok, bro? So many kids using that, bro. You could even argue it's made mess with their brains, or if you say those studies are true. But I'm like, these TV shows, they can't get people that. I'm sorry. And now, like you said earlier, the subscription market has gotten so vast to the point where an average person can't buy $200 worth of subscriptions. It's too much. When it was a couple, it's like Netflix. He's like, okay, cool. It's just Netflix and Hulu. Now everything wants to have subscription. I'm like, it's just too much. You can't buy these subscriptions.
I do pay for my YouTube subscription just because I don't like ads.
I remember when it used to be like free or whatever, when you have to add, or you was able to have an ad block and you was fine, man. Those are the good days.
The more of the days.
That's gonna start happening more too. Is websites gonna stop using or stop you from using ad block. It's gonna be kind of annoying, but that's gonna start to happen. I feel like companies should know by now the free method works. Like if you give somebody something for free, they're gonna spend money on it eventually. Like Fortnite and various other free games, people will spend money eventually. You know, but you can experience the whole game for free.
That's why I hate. That's why I hate buying games these days.
I mean, it's kind of annoying, but I mean, it allows more people to play together than any point in time in human history. Because most paid games, say if you think a paid game like Call of Duty, right? The minute the next Call of Duty comes out, the old one dies. If it's a free game, they're not going to constantly release new games, and you constantly keep players in the game. It's always a game you can hop on and play with your friends because it's not like it's a game they don't have. So when it comes to that, I mean, I can't really argue that. It's a game that you can always play with somebody. There's always
How many times does that model work though? Because you got to think, companies sink a lot of money into making the game.
Oh yeah, are you talking about battle royale?
So they're gonna need. That's what I'm saying. Like how you can't go by one successful example. Like if most games out there were like that and it was a successful model, like okay, yeah, but I think what we're starting to see is not just with games, but with the internet, is that the free ride is over. As it was being created, a lot of money was pumped into it. Now it's time to pay. The internet has become like TV. You watch a YouTube video and they show like 3 freaking commercials and you're just trying to watch one little video or whatever. But someone has to pay. Someone has to pay for all that stuff, server farms and the coding and people security and all the people you got to pay. So they have to offset that cost somewhere, and it has to go to the consumer. So it might be over that Wild Wild West internet that we got to enjoy for decades. It might be coming to an end now. Cause I notice when I'm watching YouTube, I get really poor service sometimes. Like it takes forever for the video to come up and load.
You gotta pay now to get like 1080p. It's like, you got to get the HD 1080p premium.
But I think it's also because I'm using ad blocks and they know that. So
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now it's just YouTube. We'll have to see what other things expand to do that. Even wasn't on Netflix and the cheapest subscription you have to watch ads now on the cheapest one.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the point of you paying the subscription? I gotta watch ads.
They gotta be profitable. They gotta make money to exist.
I mean, man, it's this freaking war, bro.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pay YouTube with $10. I'm gonna watch.
The war is causing all this inflation, man.
But there are models that work like Tubi and some of the other ones that are like Tubi. But it's set up more like traditional TV though.
I've never watched one show on Tubi.
Tubi's pretty cool, man. There's some cool stuff on there.
Hold back judgment.
Mike's trying to get his new thing on Tubi.
I watched that the other night.
Hmm.
I can watch. Oh no, I'm sorry. I haven't watched Mike's thing yet. I didn't watch that tonight. But
Yeah, it's only like a minute long. I think it's like a snippet. I don't think it's like the full thing.
let's see. What else? Yep. Well, like I said, fellas, I miss the old days, but yes, you're right, Carmen. We have to move forward. But man, the good old days. Remember when Hulu didn't only just showed you the animation, it didn't show you all the ads, and Hulu was free.
I never
Times
actually
always
really
have
used
to
Hulu.
change, and they're only going to get worse. That's the reality of things.
Mhm. Yeah. What? Anybody else looking forward to anything that's coming out soon?
Let's see.
What's the year? Look like trash to me.
I'm
The
still waiting
Fallout
for
thing is
the
pretty good.
From
I'm
series.
definitely enjoying that so far.
What?
Like the Fallout show, that's pretty good.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
that's over now. Well, that's over now.
'Cause I haven't finished watching it, but I'm like,
Mm.
they keep making more shows like that. Miami, they kind of have decent. Like why didn't Microsoft allow Halo to be written like that? I'm like, what happened with Halo?
Okay, Last of Us was a good show based on
Yeah, they need more game adaptations. Like movies are trash, but TV shows are good. And the Mario movie, it looked good, but the story was not the best. It definitely looked good. I'm not gonna lie, it looked good, but the story was kind of off. And the Sonic one, like, I mean, I guess it's good for what it's trying to do, but I'm like, it just doesn't look like the Sonic you imagine. Like that Mario movie looks like Mario, but the Sonic doesn't quite like. Even though they fixed it, it doesn't quite like Sonic.
The reason why the Mario movie works so well, even though Sonic's been around for a long time, people know the lore of Mario so much more.
I haven't watched either one of those movies. I just don't care.
I mean,
It's
like
not
the
that
Mario movie's not
interesting.
the best story. It just looks really it looks really good as far as like CGI. I was like, yo, that's pretty impressive. And like everything, they did a really good job of capturing everything in the original games into that movie. Like it looks and all like the exact sound effects there. I was like, if you were a Mario fan, bro, you were not going on their side. Like they did you justice as far as appearance goes. They did you justice. Story, like I said, it wasn't the best story. But appearance looks how I expected. Like it looked better than I expected. Like it didn't let me down. I mean, I used to play Mario as a kid, and I'm like, I was impressed with it. Like I said, the story's weak, but visuals kept me impressed. You know, if they get a better story writer for Mario 2 or whatever, I mean, that movie could definitely make some money.
Well, the first one made like $1 billion, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, actually, it was one of the best-selling animated movies. I think it sold. I think it did.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I wish they would start making more animated stuff in general, bro. That's the problem. Is live action is ruining things. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it's almost like the American directors just lost the art of doing live action movies well.
they forgot to do art. Like it's like, bro, like we live in a time where we have the most artists in human history, but they're not using these artists to their full capability. They rather make some live action trash. Or really, they'd rather make a live action. That's what Disney. They'd rather make live action of the animated movies they used to make. Like that makes no sense. They used to be considered the gold standard of animation. I'm like, how in the world did they lose that title?
I say the gold standard in animation are the Koreans.
I mean, yeah, for sure. But I'm like, people used to consider Disney that.
But as far as story writing, I'll say I want to say it's Japanese. You
What?
know, as far as story writing, how many animations do they come out a year? Either
There's a
have a
lot
high-
of shit anime. A lot of shit anime.
there are a
Yeah,
lot of
most
shit.
animes are pretty bad. Like you gotta remember, they got some random isekai or some crap like that. Most of them are pretty. The only few we know about are the good ones that actually managed to rise to the surface, which some of them are just overhyped. It's just that they overwork their animators, so making them work 100 hours a week. They would produce so much anime because the animators don't get paid nothing. They get paid $6 an hour. Compared to where Americans, at least to some degree, would fight back to some degree. At least they have a right to. So, I mean, that's the reason why Japanese animation is better, because they're gonna force the animators to work more, and you can't complain there. Unless you get every worker to complain. How they did with Jujutsu Kaisen, they got every worker. He's like, "Yeah, we gonna go on strike, and we ain't doing no more." They had to get every person in there to like fight back.
G-Flux, what did you just send me? I'm looking at it, but where's this from?
What are you talking about?
I didn't send you anything.
You talking about me?
Oh, that's you. I'm sorry, Carl. Where'd you get this from?
Which one? You talking about the video? Or you talking about the model?
The model. Oh, this
Oh,
from this
No,
from
that's
Berserk.
one of the guys I looking through on Patreon. He's making a Berserk model, so I was like, so it looks pretty good. And then that's just a game. That's a video. It's just cutscenes from a game or whatever. But I was like, if they went with a look like that, that's not toon shaded. 3D can work for Berserk. It's just toon shade is not gonna work for something this complex. I'm sorry, like it's
I
just
agree
not
with
like,
that.
like look at Spider-Verse. They had to simplify the characters to make toon shading work. When you do toon shading, it has to be more simplified characters. That's why it works sometimes with some anime stuff. But if they try to go
Yeah, if you look at
complex,
the intricate nature of the art and in Berserk, I think definitely have a much more realistic 3D.
yeah,
I
realistic
think would work
works.
better.
Yeah, like if you look at the game, like the game does not look bad. It looks okay. Like if they made a movie out of this, I feel like less people would complain. And this is actually older again. They made a game today with
So
that Unreal Engine 5,
can you show what he's talking about? I don't know what he's talking about. Can you show it on your screen, Demetrius?
but they made some with like the Unreal Engine 5, and they made Berserk like look realistic. I'm like, that could look pretty good.
I agree with that.
It's just they're trying to mimic the comic book that's just too complex. Even if you look at the anime, right? They had to simplify some things because the manga is just too complicated. I'm sorry, there ain't no way you're copying that in a animated style. That would take too long for the animators to do. That's not possible. I'm sorry, it's just not. Even you get the best animators in the world, they gonna complain about that. I'm sorry, like animation is always simplified compared to the drawn versions of it. That's just how it's always been.
Now you said this was a 3D model.
Yeah, I'm about to say yeah.
Press open in browser.
That's something that you're currently working on. It's a work in progress, but
Yeah, it looks good, dude.
It does.
if you use
Yeah,
like an
it's really
expert
good.
character model or something, he can be pretty good characters. And if you go to that, it's just like some cutscenes and stuff from one of the games that released in 2017. Like it definitely looks a lot better than that anime we got. Like the 3D, it looks way better than that. Like I'm like, they would have gave us that instead. Like people would not complain about was the 2012 or whatever version of it or whatever. It would have been fine.
Well, and me being, there's only one flaw in it. I've seen it's something minor. He doesn't have the white tufted hair above his right eye or his left
It's
eye.
not-
It depends on what version it is.
but
He
that- but
didn't always
it's-
have that white tuft. Didn't that happen later in the story?
No, if he has this armor that he has on right now, he has the white tuft.
Yeah, but this is it's not textured. It's not colored at all.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
I
you
know.
can't really.
I don't
judge it.
I'm judging it just from glancing at it. It is a very good model. But I think it's very, very well done.
I mean, for one, like I said, that guy's definitely an expert character modeler. So I mean, yeah. But it took somebody at his level to make this guy look good. Like not this regular artists are gonna make Berserk in a detailed style look well. You need some professional people to do this.
Yeah.
If you look at the actual story, what happened with the original like team that did that movie or whatever, they weren't all professionals there. it was like a smaller studio that was their first time doing animation or something like that.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Why would you do that for something as
Yeah,
epic
like,
as Berserk?
take people that aren't professionals to do something serious like that complicated. What are you trying to say?
Oh, there's another flaw in it. He doesn't have a scar on his nose, but he has a scar on his cheek. But I'm nitpicking right now.
Demetrius, shut the hell up.
I'm nitpicking
Oh, so
right
that's
now.
good
Shut up,
for
man.
what it is. Like that's
Yeah, be quiet. The
you
scar
aren't
is
gonna
the
find
hero
too many
scars.
better 3D
Hold
models
on.
than this. I'm sorry, you aren't. Like,
Hold on.
you really aren't.
I know your bitch ass.
Oh, there's a
ain't sitting
scar. The scar.
Hold on.
The scar.
I know your bitch. I know your bitch. Hold on. I know your.
You have a tuft of white hair over here. Shut the fuck up.
Hold on.
You aren't gonna find.
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
I know for a fact that your bitch ass is not sitting here trying to say anything to me about nitpicking. When you
What?
are the king of the nitpickers
How so? Give an example.
on everything.
What? Give an
Everything.
example.
Hold on.
Give an example.
Let's see.
Exactly. You can't think of nothing.
You are. That's something
You
That's something
in that
irritating.
corner, bro. I can't help you with that one, bro.
Exactly. You can't think of nothing.
Hold on.
Usually, if something is generally good, even if it's not exactly like it falls, it was generally good. Like I'm not gonna say
You're the king of the nitpickers.
nitpick it. You know what I'm saying? Not like, oh, the tuft of white hair.
And there's no damn scar.
Oh my God, there's a
No
scar.
no scar.
The
No scar. Tell you, hey, somebody message this man, tell him to go back to the studio. He has some work to do. Shout out to Spurch, my favorite animation behind Dragon Ball. True faulty work. Yeah, you know what series and I didn't know the lady didn't finish it. She died. The Going Saga lady. I didn't know she
one who was
died.
doing the comic.
Yeah, and she didn't finish that.
I feel like a lot of artists probably die before the comic book is ever finished, bro. Especially if it ever gets popular. I mean, I know the Japan people, they overwork themselves, bro. That's like, yeah. Even if they do make it, I heard like a lot of them tend to have like a lot of health issues by the time they're in their 40s or 30s. They have like major health issues.
You know who I think is? Because I think he just has a bunch of work to do. The guy who does Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah,
Didn't he have like a lot of major health issues? That's like what I mean. Like you can work hard now. Or
talk about a good damn anime boy. That Hunter x Hunter boy.
That man has two good adaptations of a good damn anime. It's like, what is it, 99 and 2011?
Actually, like the 2011 version better.
And then they have who else? He's having all types of problems with it. He can't even. They said he can't even shower correctly. He's in so much pain.
I need to go. You need to go to the gym, man.
I've never seen him before, but I know. He tell you the truth. He has to be doing it for the love of art. He really doesn't need the money, and I'm not even saying that off of his skill. His wife was.
He also said that he wants to draw it himself, and I think that's kind of what holds him back. I'm like, dude, if you got all these health issues and you still want to get your story out, man, you gotta let some of those duties go, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting old and you're getting sick. Sometimes you gotta take some sacrifice. That's just how it is.
Well, he doesn't have to do it anymore.
He
really doesn't. Like on his like I said, all you have to do is.
Like, why does he just draw the important stuff and he has like some second person draw the less important stuff?
That's what Akira Toriyama did.
Yeah, just do that.
Even though like Toriyama's artwork is kind of jinky at times and other issues. sometimes you gotta, like you said, realize you're getting old and you gotta step back from the responsibilities. Now,
It's just what happens.
stuff happens. Like Kentaro Miura just dropping dead at a relatively young age. He was in his 50s when he died.
Excuse me.
I mean, usually, like I said, those manga artists are under a lot of stress. Like, they work themselves over to death, and even if they aren't, right, they don't have a choice for the jobs they work. Because their job is going to make them work some 60, 80 hours a week.
You
That's
know,
how it is now. And
I'm not saying because I don't know. I'm surprised we don't hear about his health issues from the guy who does One Piece. Literally thousands of issues in.
Probably because the style is so trash that it's easy to draw.
yeah, it's definitely more of a simplified style compared to a lot of anime.
Maybe he has more support too. Maybe he doesn't mind people going in.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty popular at this
definitely.
point, so he probably does. He's been doing it since the olden days. He's considered like the golden three or whatever, so he has to have help at this point. Especially, he gets a lot of games too, so it's like, yeah, I feel like he probably has some kind of help.
But then you have issues like what's his name? The guy Kishimoto.
And then you gotta think too, like not to completely trash on the One Piece guy. You know, I don't know him. I don't know anything about him. But it's like maybe he has a better
support system.
work-life balance. Like maybe the motherfucker actually goes to the gym instead of just sitting in front of all day or whatever.
Like, or what you do though when people run into the issues like what's his face ran into with his manga, Kishimoto, because he wasn't drawing his the Boruto series at first, and then everybody said, "Hey, this is trash," and he said, "Hey, no, you will not destroy my IP. What the hell you think this is, Disney?"
Yeah, Boruto is pretty bad, bro.
It was terrible at the beginning, and then he had to come in and fix it.
I mean, it should have ended after Naruto. There was no reason to continue that in the first place, to be honest with you. I don't know why they even did that. I mean, I guess they wanted money, but I'm like, yo, they could have said it in the same Naruto universe, just not doing anything related to Naruto.
Even the name is stupid. Boruto.
And then
is that still going on?
Yeah. It's gonna be a pretty long series from what I've heard. Like, it's like somehow like or Boruto, or at least they swapped the minds of everybody, so they think Boruto like killed his father. It's like some crazy story now. I can't ever explain it, bro.
So
like, it's like he has like,
Naruto is dead.
Who killed him? And
no,
it's crazy. It is. It's pretty crazy now.
Who is Boruto's mother?
Natsu, bro.
Who?
The lady with the black hair.
Hanada.
She has like gray eyes.
Okay. See, I don't know enough. I don't know a lot about Naruto. I could never get into it.
You know, you want to know one of my favorite series, but I just don't keep up with it. And this is case in point, him handing the art over to somebody who is far better than him. The guy who does One Punch Man, the writer.
Yeah.
Like, chill out, trash.
I wish people would do it. Like that could definitely make it or make stories be able to be completed a lot faster. If some people just focus on stories instead of trying to do art and the story. That's kind of how things supposed to go. You have like a director and that kind of stuff. You have different roles. Like some people want to do it all, but like, even you talk about this G-Flux, like you can't do everything.
Nope.
You can't please everybody.
You understand early because you tried so hard. You didn't even get really anything. You overworked your body and gave up on you. That's why some of those manga people be dying early.
Sure, a lot of them are dying early.
That's why they try to do everything, but it's just not possible. How do we live?
I want to know. You want to know one of my? I think what was one of the last great American animations.
What?
I used to love Gargoyles back in the day.
It was hit or miss for me. I didn't follow it that deeply, but I remember liking it.
And then do you remember the one that came on before it, Exo Squad? guess not.
No, I mean you got. So what is it?
No, it was like basically it was like the humans made these false humans. They're called Neo Sapiens.
Oh, you're talking
Yeah.
about Exo Squad.
Yeah.
I thought you said a show that came out before Exo Squad.
No, that was the Ronin Warriors.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Fox.
I remember Exo Squad. Yeah.
It was Ronin Warriors, Exo Squad, Gargoyles, Batman, some gay ass Peter Pan show, Power Rangers, or some like in the mix. The Simpsons, Married with Children. Damn. Married with Children, and get your ass to bed. You got school in the morning. That's how the afternoon went. But yeah, like I think Fox started going downhill when they started doing those things like wasn't so much name of that show. It wasn't the Power Rangers. Power Rangers was a phenomenon. But all the other shows they try to do, like I remember they tried to what was that? Kamen Rider. They try to take that from Japan and try to bring it over here and for it to make sense for these kids. Like it didn't. I didn't know what the hell was going on in there. And then big bad Beetleborgs.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what the hell is this? And then that turned me off and stuff like that. But then Mr. G Flux had to bring me back into the people who transform into motherfuckers with armor. Hey man, you gotta watch this. What the hell am I watching? Man, just watch it. It's called Garo. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that Garo is no joke.
Shit, I watched that. I'm like, okay. I can watch this shit again. Rest in peace, Jason Franks, man. But that man rep Power Rangers to, for lack of a better word, to the death. He's the only one of I saw out of their whole crew that stayed. Well, who's the guy, the black grader? He was in shape, but he wasn't doing all the action. But Jason Franks was about that life, like all the martial arts and
He
everything.
killed himself, didn't he?
Because his wife.
What did his wife do?
I think it's something with the kids and stuff. But I don't know this much. She had him so messed up in the head that the man killed himself.
Jeez.
She definitely killed himself. And he used to love going out all those Comic Cons and anime cons, and he definitely made his money on the road. He's the only one that was willing to come back to Power Rangers on a regular basis.
Dang, I can't remember which pencil I was using. I think it was this one. No. What was I using?
And then
Wash,
who else? But I think the global phenomenons nowadays are like cutesy shows that don't have a clear defined role for the main character. Like you remember last week we were talking about the Bluey show, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And how is it the number one thing selling on Disney Plus? Bluey. It's like an Australian dog.
Isn't that like a show for kids? I don't know. A lot of my friends talk about it though.
That's probably why, because you could, you sit the kids down and watch it, and it's probably pretty wholesome.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people talk about. It's like a wholesome show.
Well, you remember back in the day? Remember back in the day, Barney was that dude, man.
Oh, I hate Barney.
I hated Barney too.
That's what they do with character animation now. So they have to go through that. Like they can just change the voice actor. They don't have to do it like an actual actor if he ends up being crazy. It's all good. New actor.
I hated Barney. Sesame Street was all my joy, and Sesame Street is still going strong.
To tell you the truth, all those like like those types of shows with a dude in a suit or something like that. Even though I was real small, I didn't like it. I think I kind of like Sesame Street when I was a kid. I like Big Bird, but it wasn't like, like a
It's
main
not your
thing for
favorite
me.
character,
Yeah, it wasn't like I went on my way
Yeah.
to watch it or whatever.
I'll tell you what my favorite
I
character
did like
was.
certain puppet shows. Like it was a show called Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock was cool.
I thought it was so weird, and that's what kind of attracted me to it.
My favorite character on Sesame Street was well, y'all know who my favorite character on the first Sesame Street was.
We don't.
One good guess.
He like that trap.
Trash can guy.
Hit it on the head. Oscar, you're a grouch.
Yeah, you
I
like
live in a
you like
fucking
the guy
trash
always
can.
mad knowing you.
I live in a fucking trash can. My whole life is shit. But no, like, they used to have a bunch of cool things, and back in the day, Nickelodeon had a bunch of cool.
I gotta give Nickelodeon credit for creating probably the best American cartoon ever made, and that's
Avatar, the last Airbender.
I gotta give him credit on that one.
Yeah, but the Netflix show was straight.
It was so good, you think it should have been on something like Cartoon Network.
It was good. It was constantly good. I can't think of any episode of that show. I'm like, well, they got a ducked off right there.
A lot of people shit on the Korra one. I thought Korra was pretty good too. I didn't like the first season all that much, but it got really good. It's not as good as the first series, but it got pretty good, man.
And it was so good that here it is, almost 20 years later, people still want to sit there and like, oh, we gotta continue the series. They continue the.
They did continue it, man. They doing remakes. There's just no need for it.
And like the show still, I mean, if anything, just remaster the show. At this point, you could argue it not,
or actually continue the series. Do a new series.
Yeah, they keep it set in the same universe. Like it's just,
yeah.
Like a new Avatar. Like,
well, they're saying the next Avatar.
You might not want that though. After Korra or whatever.
I don't know, man. The Avatar was like.
In fact, Korra would have been better suited for live action than the freaking first one, in my opinion. But I would have just kept it out of live action anyway. Just leave it as animation. Why not?
Yeah, that one.
Well, I will say this: the Netflix show is better than the movie that came out with.
That movie was straight garbage.
Don't let M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah,
touch your shit. He's a terrible director.
He's hit or miss. Better than goddamn Zack Snyder. That's for goddamn sure.
Damn, you always be hating on Zack Snyder, bro.
The guy's a shit director. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to think of what can we give Zack Snyder credit for besides 300.
I would say Dawn of the Dead. I'll give him credit for that one. But I think in those movies, he was more of the director. He didn't try to do the writing and everything else, cinematography. Other people were handling that stuff. So he's definitely not one of those directors that he needs to have his hands. Well, the director's gonna have their hands in everything anyway, but doing it totally himself, yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think there's like we're not in that golden age of animation anymore. Well, we got more, like Carmen said, we have more creatives than we ever had. But I think
I think that I personally think that the what's happening in Hollywood, and it's starting to die now because these movies are flopping. I think what's happening is, unfortunately, the feminists and gay mafias have taken over, and they're essentially doing what they accuse white patriarchs of doing, and that's gatekeeping. And that's okay. If you don't have a certain ideology, then your idea is not going to get through. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. So that's why we're just getting a lot of crap. Because they're invading spaces and they're trying to push certain things that those spaces just aren't into. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they've killed all the popular franchises that we grew up and loved, So but we're starting to see a change now. Because all that shit's flopping.
Well, you lose enough money, of course it's gonna
Yeah.
flop. They're gonna start looking at things sideways, like, okay, what the hell?
And I'm not saying I'm like one of these guys that's against diversity. I don't have a problem with diversity, but not at the at the detriment to the story or the entertainment value and to your core audience. Because they pretty much destroyed Star Wars and they pretty much destroyed Marvel at this point. Yeah.
I think Marvel has more of a chance of coming back. But Star Wars, that's me. Like, man, after they,
I don't think so. I think.
Well, no,
I don't. I think. I'm not
like,
saying. I'm not saying one is above the other. I think they're both pretty much dead. I don't think they either one of them have a chance.
The reason why I say Marvel can be saved because all they gotta say is, "Hey, we'll jump into a new universe, and this is how we want."
Yeah, but that's not gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
But
maybe 20 years from now, if they did something like that.
Let me say something. Let me say something. But as far as Star Wars, they took an iconic character and they trashed him and they drug him through the dirt. And like even kids would look back like, oh, this guy was so optimistic and happy and willing to fight the good fight. What the hell happened? Like, this is not the same person. And it literally wasn't. I'm like, hold on, why is he drinking milk, green titty milk? Like, what's wrong with him? Mom, I don't want to watch this movie no more. It's scary. And
I think that the problem with Marvel is, I think you're right about Star Wars, but I think the problem with Marvel is
it got too big too fast.
No. I mean, it took them a decade to build up to Endgame.
It took them a decade to get they were big for Endgame. Endgame sent them to the stratosphere. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say anything about that.
No, I wouldn't say it's too fast. I mean, they had a decade-long run. They did a good job. I think the problem with Marvel is, look, when it comes to superheroes, right? Once you do your major character's story arc, once that's over, it's really hard to top that. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to top that. So you got to think. I think the superhero fatigue thing is a real phenomenon. When I used to get really excited about the superhero movies. Now when I'm seeing, look, it's just another superhero movie. It's a genre. It's a fad that's kind of like westerns. It's run its course. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think even if they reboot the universe and all that stuff like that, no one's gonna care. I don't think enough people will care. I should say, not enough people are going to care.
And you are very, very right on what you just said. You're very right.
Like, I want to see something new and interesting. All right. We already get the superhero trope. We get how we've already seen them turn the tropes on their heads. How many different evil versions of Superman have we got now? Since the superhero movies have gotten really popular, from your Brightburn to The Boys to Invincible. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that I think that particular genre of films, that fad has ended, and I don't think there's much you can do to bring it back.
Of course, it's ended with us. The kids are going to have a little bit more wonderment than us, but I agree with you. Back in the day, we would all get together. Hey, Captain Marvel 85 is coming out. We got to go see it as a group. And we would trash it afterwards if it was trash. Now we're like, oh, well, that looks like shit. We don't even have to walk in the theater. We don't even got to put it on our whatever viewing it on. We're just over it.
Yeah, it's over it, man. I want to see something new and interesting. That's why I really like that movie, Late Night with the Devil. It was something different. I mean, it was possession theme or possession trope. But the two, because it was a brother dual director, they did a good job with taking it in a different direction, doing something a little new. And the acting was so good. It's not a perfect movie. Like I said, I thought the climax of the movie was a little bit over the top, but overall, man, it was a pretty good movie. I really enjoyed it. And that movie cost like $2 million. It cost less than $2 million to make. But you got Disney just spending hundreds of millions of dollars on these movies, and the shit, absolute garbage. Yeah.
And I think their last, and I actually enjoyed it when I watched it, was Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And I'm like, okay,
I didn't even bother watching it. Because to be honest with you, I've never been a big fan of the Guardian movies anyway. I don't think they're that funny.
They, so you're trying to think, like, when's the last time? You know what? I'm pretty hard on black media. But I would say media in general, like any type of source of entertainment. Unless you blow me out of the water like Fallout did, it's not going to hold my interest. Like I think the age of shows like Game of Thrones having such a large fan base is starting to teeter down because they have so much content.
Yeah, it can't be popular like that anymore. Yeah, you're right. There's so much stuff out now that nobody can be number one, really. At least not with the fan base of the olden days.
It's hard to tally up the measurements too because so many different streaming sites and stuff like that. And what are you really counting? Are you counting watch hours?
But they don't give us the statistical data, so we don't know.
Yeah.
They won't give that to us.
I think things like and just to add another caveat to what we're talking about, the fact that you can binge watch a show. There's no anticipation from 1 week to the next. You're like, oh well, I can watch all this one night and be done with it. And then well, like we don't have water cooler talk anymore. Everybody has you can watch, like I can watch this whole series right now. I won't remember everything right there. But if I had watched one episode from 1 week to the next and like, oh man, did you see what happened last week? No, don't say nothing. Nah, we watch it anytime,
Yeah.
Anytime at all. Like there's no anticipation in our media anymore.
There's some shows that don't do that though, like the From series.
The From does it, yes.
Yellow Jackets, they come out weekly or whatever, which I am anticipating. I'm not anticipating Yellow Jackets as much because that second season was kind of trash, but From got more interesting. And I thought it was going to be the other way around. I thought From was going to kind of get tiresome after a while, but they're starting to keep it really interesting.
I'm still not clear what's going on with the lady at the end of From. But it is interesting. Like we still don't know anything about what's going on with these people. Nothing at all. And it's something that it motivates us to come back each week. But when you, like I said, when you put your whole entire series at one time, there are people who literally live on their couch and watch everything like that, and they don't care. It's just eye pollution, almost sensory pollution, to the point where it's background noise, even though you're watching it. You're not digesting what you're watching.
I don't know about all that.
You don't know? Okay. What's the last series you watched, like streaming wise, watched all the way through, had binge watching?
I was rewatching Psychopaths, and I think I did with the Mandalorian too. One of the seasons of Mandalorian.
Okay. Mandalorian, you know, you're watching week to week. I never watched Psychopath. And
There's some shows you retain the information better. What happened last episode when you when you binge watch it? Sometimes you go last week, you're like, where'd this come from? But they hinted at it the last episode, but you didn't remember the last episode completely. You're able to watch the episode right back to back. You're able to remember all the details of what just happened last episode. So sometimes when a character brings something up from last episode, you're paying attention to last episode, you're like, oh, that's what they're talking about. You know, you don't feel confused or just feel stupid because you just like, you know, you're able to just remember what happened because you literally just watched it, you know?
well, we're at the point where I think the next global phenomenon has to really just blow everything out of the water.
I thought it was going to be anime adaptations because I think it's just a lot of potential there, and there's a lot more variety for different types of stories there. I thought that was going to be the next big thing, but after Battle Angel Alita, James Cameron just fucking that up. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I should leave that alone. I still think you get the right creative team, man. A Claymore would be an awesome live action trilogy or a quadrilogy. It'd make a good television series too, in my opinion.
I think the next
there's a lot of good anime. Remember that anime called Gantz?
Yeah.
Dude, like a live action version of that? I think
I'm
they do.
I'm pretty sure there's a live action version of that, dude.
There's a Japanese live action version, I think.
pretty
Is
sure
there
he exists,
for Gantz?
Oh yeah, what it is? They have the
Yeah, there is I think there is a Japanese live action version, but it's not an American live action. Because I think I watched that. I watched the anime. I watched that, and there's a 3D one that's kind of like a prequel to it that I watched. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you know, the Gantz, the manga is not drawn. It's all 3D models.
What?
I did not know that.
I think so.
You sure about that? Ain't no way, dude.
I could be wrong. I thought I read that, but it's been a while since I read that.
They ain't no way.
Let me see.
I'd be surprised. I'm about to say.
Is the Gantz manga drawn? Yeah, it says Hiroya Oku draws up a rough draft known as the name. His assistants create 3D models on the computer based on the sketches. He then uses that as a backdrop to draw the actual. Oh, okay. On top of, so it is drawn. He's just drawing over the 3D thing. Once all the character art is pinned, it is scanned into the computer. So no, it's not models. He's just using the models as a guide.
Okay, I'm almost done with the back of the hair.
It's done completely digitally.
Some little holes or whatever, but I'm almost done with the back of the hair. A little more work I got to do to it.
But see, this is a I think that's a much more efficient way of doing a manga. You know, he gets his assistants to kind of, you know, mock it up, and then he does his drawing. Art looks good.
Wait, what?
So the art looks good in Gantz.
You know. Oh, like the problem with obviously with adapting anime to for our American crowd is the symbolism and like it's the two different cultures of clash. Like I think one of the worst anime movies there has ever been is Ghost of the Shell. And
I've never actually seen the live action.
You don't want to. You don't want to. You'd be wasting 2.5 hours of your life that you can't get back.
Yeah, it's just some things I think they should leave alone. Like, you know.
Well, and of course, this thing like Akira. I remember Leonardo DiCaprio wanted to do Akira for a long time. I'm like, nope, you can't do it.
Yeah, leave it
You really
alone.
can't.
Some things you just
And what and like Akira the animation is much more different than the full manga. I think who had that? You or Derry?
I think Derry has it.
They only covered like 10% of the manga, if that.
Yo,
And
Gantz looks really good. I might have to get this one too. Yeah, it looks really good. I like the art inside of it. But Gantz is one of those animes where it surprised me as to how different and interesting it was when I first watched it.
I thought it was just people killing monsters, but then it.
Yeah, G-Flux. So what you think of the back of the hair?
All right, hold on.
I really thought it was just people killing monsters at first, and then you get into the backstory behind it. I'm like, oh, okay, this is pretty tough.
He zoom in.
Matter of fact, there is a good anime
So
adaptation
you're gonna see
to.
it. It's close in the animations, though. And then when I render it, it looks. The thickness of it changes, so you're not gonna see all the bald spots. It's just for the purpose of the solve view. You're not gonna see all those bald spots. It thickens up in the render.
It looks good. The only part that looks a little off to me is the part where the hair attaches to the neck.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Really how to make that.
At the bottom, it looks too puffy. But overall, it looks good though.
All right.
Right, guys. Again, late. I'm about to call it a night.
Yep.
We went for a little while though.
Last question I gotta ask crew: what is the animation that they could not do in live action? No matter how.
Yeah, I'm glad that you started learning cycles though. It seems like it's gonna be a cool rendering engine.
Yeah.
You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing in live action if they had somebody with the charisma to do it. Ninja Scroll.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I'll
man.
talk to you guys later. Head out then.
I think you should leave certain things alone. That's just me. Right? Yeah. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna head out too.
We out this bitch.